Here we go. What's it, my people? You know what it is. The Don Tony Teflon, the Lady LMR. And we are back at you with another from season 3 prediction video. And since LMR is in the building, you know what it is. LMR, how are you?
I'm always good when I'm here, Tony. It's always a highlight of my day. So, how are you today?
I feel great now that I see you. I see our friends in the chat. It just makes my day worthwhile. Had a pretty good day myself, but this makes it even better. This is the icing on the cake. This is what they
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
It's the cherry on the sundae.
Well, for me, cherry on the side because I'm allergic. So,
All right. Well, no cherries.
no
Let's
cherry
get
for me.
that. No, no,
I'll
no
skip that.
cherries. Then if
No cherry.
we'll put strawberries on there.
Let's skip that too.
All right. Let's
That's a
get
different thing.
fuck
Yep,
fruit,
yep.
man.
No food, no food, drinks.
Fuck the fruit, man.
Exactly.
And everything else. Yes, but it's great. So let's say what up to the people that have joined us so far. We got our girl Hannah is up in the building rocking with us right now. KP is up here rocking with us right now. Jesse is in here, right? Fred Grace is in here. Piano Key Joe is in the building rocking with us right now. We got a bunch of people in there. Thank you. Listen, Fred is in the building rocking with us right now. TNX Jesus is in the building where Veronica W is in here. Listen, we understand it's the off season, right? And the show is not on. Obviously, we do not expect to have the same numbers that we get when the show is on. But hey, the fact that y'all are here and here to rock with us, we truly, truly, truly appreciate that you're here. And we will be taking questions. We'll be taking phone calls as always. We will be doing that stuff, and we'll be talking about what we think is going to happen this upcoming season. We'll try to focus it on, we'll start focusing down on characters and going through each character storyline. We'll go through all of them and stuff. And we're going to also do a thing we're going to call the iceberg theories, where we're going to rank everybody's theory. We're not going to do mine because it wouldn't be fair. You're not going to rank. But we'll rank every theory in the fandom on the iceberg scale. And to the worst ones that we believe it won't happen, all the way to the ones that we think are great, that's a good possibility that they could happen, and we'll be doing that. So we'll have we still have a lot more planned for you. All you gotta do is just keep rocking with us.
Yeah.
We'll be here as always from day one. Let me put the brand up there so people, the banner up there, so people know where to call in if you wish to call in, and where to super chat if you wish to super chat. Make sure that you send that to the Cash App, $ Tony Teflon 545. Become a member. Do something to help the channel out, help the channel grow. We truly appreciate it and everything else. So let's talk a little bit about. We know that there's a strike going on. Most likely, the show is going to be delayed somewhat because of it, because it does affect Harold because he's an American actor. They could shoot around him and not have him just shoot the scenes without him in it. They would still be able to do that because the other actors are from Canada. You think they would do that, shoot around him and then come back and shoot his scenes later?
That would make sense. We've seen crazier things happen, right? Like after in some movies where the entire movie was shot, everything was shot, and they had to redo some stuff. So they shot those scenes with somebody else already after everybody was gone. So I can see that happening.
Yeah, and you listen, there's stand-ins that they could have people stand in, like spots, or have someone stand in the spot, and they won't show them. They just to keep the camera out of focus and things like that. So it could do something like that. I don't know if that would piss him off, or he would give his okay to do it, because if they want to they have a schedule, and they want to get this out in a certain schedule. It could be the way that they go about it and stuff. But let's
Yeah.
go through and Daryl, thank you very much. So he loves the alien theory, and you should love that aliens theory because that's the theory that's going to be right when it's all said and done.
Extraterrestrial.
So you don't have to. So you'll be all right with that. You just be on the right side of it and everything. Let's bring out Harold. Let's talk about Harold's character. Let's go right in. So we've seen the progress, and we've seen the progress of the show. and it seems that he is the main character of the show. It's his show. He's the main character. He's on the bullet boards and everything else. They put it out there that he is the main character of the show, and we look at his whole character arc. It's 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 kind of not exactly pointed out where he goes, right? So if we look at
Yeah.
Harold's the guy. He came in there late with his wife. Uh, he's the one who organized the town, got the town working together. He is the one who found the goats. He is the one who found the talismans, right? Then after that he had to kill his wife to
Yeah.
save the life of his son. Son stopped speaking to him. Then after that, he took control of the town. He made Kenny his deputy. More people came into the town. He organized them. He went out farther than anybody in the town. He almost made it to the lighthouse. And then he comes back out of that and discovers more evil than they ever had. And he's
Mm-hmm.
responsible for bringing it back to the town and hurting people. But he's also responsible for stopping this evil from spreading to the town. So we try to look at the hero's journey. Usually it's a reluctant hero, like we don't. There is. I could pull up the hero's journey. Let's see the arcs of it.
Mm-hmm.
That people, the 10 steps of the hero's journey. All right, and let's see. Let's and try to put Harold on these steps
Mm-hmm.
and see exactly what stage he's
Yep.
at in his journey, so we can
Well,
know
he went through a lot, so yeah. Let's see how
Uh,
that goes.
let's see. Does it have this the list of the 10 steps of the journey? Hero's journey. Step one: the ordinary world. I think we got that when he came to the town and
Mm-hmm.
sucked into this world. Uh, Step two is the call to adventure. I think we got the step two with him when he went out and found the talismans and everything else. Step three would be the first threshold. So the call to adventure may not be
Uh,
the call to adventure would just have to be him. The ordinary world is him and his family
yep.
traveling
Yep.
inside of the car,
Yep.
right?
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Then the call to adventure would be him
Mm-hmm.
getting stuck into this place.
And having that role of, okay, let's get this stuff in order, right?
Yes,
That's his adventure. Or
and
yeah.
then we got to cross the first threshold,
Oh,
right?
that's
And
the wife, right?
yeah, and that would be, I think, taking
Like,
out his wife
mm-hmm.
when he had to save his son. And then after that is trials, friends, and foes.
Okay.
Trials, friends, and foes, which could be the part that we just seen him in. That we just seen him in, like the trials of saving these people
Mm-hmm.
from this magical creature, these magical creatures that he's been around. Number five is the magical mentor, or the mentor with supernatural aid, and that would probably be either the boy in white or Sarah,
Hmm. No,
right?
I was thinking what was the one before that?
The one
The one
before
the one
it is trials, friends, and
mhm.
foes,
So I
and
thought of that as him, like the moment we see that first episode where the trials of, okay, he crosses the whatever 86 days without incidents. He
mhm.
crosses that out, so that's the trials, and foes as in the guy who actually brought the creature in, or the monster in the house that killed his kid, and the wife. Maybe that's the
It says along in this. It says along the hero's journey, the main character encounters many obstacles. Some people may try to stop you along your quest, possibly saying you're unreasonable or unrealistic. These dream
Hmm.
stoppers are often cleverly masked as friends and family who appear to have positive intentions but hinder your development nevertheless. Now we've seen
Hmm.
this with Ellis, right? Ellis
Yeah.
tried to get him from going inside of the woods, telling him it wasn't safe. We've seen it also
Yeah.
with Kenny, right? Kenny got upset with him and tried to prevent him from going inside the woods and doing that, right?
Yep.
So we
Yeah,
have
he had to make his, what do you call it? And there's a bit of an echo. He had to I guess present his case. He didn't just, okay, I'm out, I'm going on my quest. He actually was actually saying, okay, this is what I want to do, and Kenny was okay, well, go. So he had to kind of, he could have just gone, but he was nice enough to actually say something to his partner
Yeah, that's when he had
or
to. He
deputy.
had. That's when he had to start playing baseball with him because Kenny was afraid that he's going to
Right.
go up and die,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And everything. And he had his challenges because he had the Parkinson's disease and everything else.
Yeah.
So I think that's what would be considered that part of the journey. Your ability to identify obstructions on your path and align with supporters along your adventure and critical to your mission success. Because few people complete their hero's journey to mature adulthood,
Hmm.
most people will unconsciously attempt to sabotage yours. So I think that it says that here he would be aligned with supporters along the adventures to your critical mission success. I would think that would be Father Kotri and Sarah
Mm-hmm.
would be
Yep.
the
He had to
people
work with her.
that he had to work
Yep.
with there. And then
Mm-hmm.
that brings us to step 5, the magical mentor or mentor with supernatural aid. Generally an early stage of the adventure, the hero is graced with the presence of a wizard sage. Personalizing stories as a magical counselor, some type of reclusive hermit, or a wise leader. The mentor's role is to help to guide you. Think of Obi-Wan, Yoda,
Hmm.
Gandalf, Dumbledore. Sometimes cloaked in mystery and secret language, this mentor manifests with the hero when he is ready. But our modern world is developed wise elders or shamans can be effective in this role. For
Oh.
most of us, it's best to seek wise counsel from your inner self. And I do think we see that with him. And I would say more than anything, you would think that would be Victor, the way they talk about that he would be that mentor. So do you think that he's hit that wise mentor stage yet? They say this usually
Hmm.
happens early in the journey, and we're only into season 2, so all this stuff is happening pretty. Or would you say maybe Sarah would be someone who would?
That's, yeah, I mean, I would love to uh, pinpoint exactly within the two seasons or the two seasons that we had, but like when you said somebody who's older, I'm thinking how who's older than Martin, right? Like, he's been there
Mhm.
for a long time, that dude. But I don't know if a mentor does he actually interact so a lot with Victor? Is there a
Not really.
lot?
He screams at
Yeah,
Victor all the time, but doesn't really interact with him.
yeah.
But so maybe he
Hmm.
hasn't reached that. I mean, Martin is a good guy. I would say Martin would be that because the next step in the journey would be the one I don't think. Well, maybe we'll see. The
Hmm.
next one is the Dragon's Lair. The significance threshold is often more treacherous than first. Entering the villain's castle or
Hmm.
the evil billionaire's mansion for a second major decision usually puts the hero at a significant physical and psychological risk. Within the walls of the innermost caves lies the cornerstones of a special world where the hero closes in on his objective. For a man, the innermost cave represents the mother complex, a regressive part of him that seeks the return of safety or mother. When a man man seeks safety and comfort, he demands pampering and means he will be engulfed within this innermost cave. So, could we see the Dragon's Lair as Martin's lair?
That makes a lot sense, but then it makes me think about what was the step before that, who actually would fit that. I'm assuming they have to go in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they cannot go back. They
No,
have
it
to
had to
meet
go in
those.
order.
They cannot. They have to be in
Okay.
order. You cannot. It's not like what is it called, stages of grieving or something, where you can have them in different order. That is an order here that we're presented. Yeah, I mean, the cave that we went to, right? That could be it,
Mhm.
or potentially if in different seasons it's
Then,
going to be additional,
it could
places
be
he's going to go to.
he may not be there yet. You know what I mean? It's quite
Yeah.
possible he could not be there and
Yeah.
everything. KP said he left a damn voicemail. Let me see if there's a voicemail here.
Yo, Tony, what going on? Listen, I was trying to call you, but I seem you can't answer my calls because you don't like black people. So that's fine, it's cool. I want to put it down that if everybody here is just in a coma and this is like one shared coma dream or something like San Juniper in goddamn Black Mirror, that would be the absolute worst thing. And I want to put that fucking fairy at the base bottom of this motherfucking theory iceberg because like if that happens, I will fucking find these people. Like I don't know if you ever saw the episode of South Park when Kyle found I think it was he found Mel Gibson or somebody who made a movie and like he just kicked their ass. I'm going to find people that made this shit and I'm gonna kick the fucking ass. This is nonsense. Do not end this show by telling me that all these people are just in a cult. Fuck that shit.
Well, thank you. We will deal with calls a little bit in a little bit. We'll take calls and stuff. And we're just going through Boyd's
Yeah.
character right now, the hero's journey of Boyd's character. We're doing that right now. So if you can, try to keep your questions or anything towards this. And then when we do the iceberg theory stuff, we will put all the theories there, and then we'll let you judge and everything else. But right now, we're going through the hero's journey of Boyd. I think that I will title these things better going forward, so that way you know exactly what we're talking about and everything else. But great voice, man. We do love the passion.
And very passionate, yeah.
As Daryl says about it, we truly appreciate that. You know what I mean? So the Dragon's Lair. Maybe we didn't get there. Number 7 in the hero's journey is the moment of despair. No worthwhile adventure is easy. There are many perils on the path to the growth, discovery, and self-realization. The major obstacle confronts a hero, and the future begins to look dim. A trap, a mental imprisonment, an imminent defeat on the battlefield. It seems like the adventure will come to a sad conclusion as all hope appears lost. But hope remains, and its moments of despair when the hero must have access to a hidden part of himself. One more micron of energy, strength, or creativity to find his way out of the belly of the beast. Now we can say that was this season, right? Because with the nightmare creature and everything else that he had that. But do you think it's too early for him to be that far into the journey?
If they want everyone to, I'm saying everyone, the main characters to go through that, if they're done, that's gonna make me feel a bit scared because if they are at the end of their journey, like, are they gonna relapse in some way? What's gonna happen after that? Are they done? Are they gonna be, written out by death? Hopefully, by the way, whoever dies in here, I really want it to be like a proper death, not just and they died. Like Father Khatri, the way he died, kind of thing, is shocker. Yeah, but I don't think he's done. But with that, do you think that they are actually putting a bit of a twist on it, putting not an actual hero's journey throughout the entire series of all the seasons, but kind of like going in waves? He reaches something, and then they're gonna start over to make him reach different points throughout like to continue it, like pick it up in a different journeys of one character.
And they
Do they do
could,
that?
but I think when dealing with this one character, okay, there's 10 steps.
Yeah.
That would be, if we did that, if he got that far, that would be number 7. I mean, that would be number 7. It can't be. I mean, you could make this into, you could look at everything, because after number 7, the next thing is the ultimate treasure. Having defeated the enemy or slain the dragon, the hero receives a prize, right? You could say that, that he killed the smile monster, right? And that was defeating the enemy and winning the prize. The prize was the bile. That didn't work, right? So it really, it couldn't be that, because it didn't work. Usually that object got. I would say that Harold would have to be on step 5. The magical mentor, supernatural aid. I think that's
Mm.
where he's at again when he comes back from the destroying the music box. You
Mhm.
see the dogs lead him off again,
Hmm.
and that
Okay.
could be the magical mentor and everything else. I don't think he's made it to the Dragon's Lair, and I don't think he's reached this point where he had no hope. Because other people may have had despair and lost hope, but Boyd didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So other people in town were just about giving up. We can't go to sleep. If we do, we're all gonna die. But Boyd figured out he's the one who kept his wits about him and said, no, there's a way to get out of this. And he figured out how to
Yeah.
get out. So I think it has to be him specifically when he is like, there's nothing more I can do. This is it. This is it for me. People in the chat, what would y'all think on the steps of the hero journey that you've heard so far? What would you think Harold's number would be at right now? I'm saying step 5. What are you at, Elmar? 5? The magical mentor. 6 would be the Dragon's Lair. 7, the moments of despair.
To me, all of these he did go through in some way. He was, giving up where he was going to that not lighthouse. To on that journey with Sarah. He was giving up. She
He did.
told him, "Okay, let's go. We can do it." So, um, he could be there. That's what I'm saying. I wonder if he's actually gonna the last couple steps, if he's gonna continue. Like in 2 seasons, he potentially got to 7th, right? And then a couple next seasons, he may get the other. What is it, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I did say I was taking calls later, right? I did say that.
Yeah. Or on the topic at least.
Let me see. Let me see. Let's see.
Call from
Lord Marrington.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
Good
press
time, P.
What's going on, KP?
Regarding, hello everybody, hello LMR, how you going? You're looking fine, looking beautiful. Tony, you look nice. Anyways, regarding the hero's journey, I think Harold right now really is on step 7 because I would argue that him in the church cussing God out is him losing hope. That is. What do you think? How do you feel about that?
So, what number are you saying he's at on the hero's journey?
I can't. Which number is losing all hope and having to regain it?
Losing all hope is number 7, the moment of despair.
Right. So that's where I think he is. I think that was his moment of despair where he was cussing God out and he totally was like, "This is not working. I am horrible. I'm going to get people killed." I would argue that is actually where he's at. And the evidence of it is that scene that he's at stage 7.
So
how would you counter that?
If that was the case, then where's the Dragon's Lair? When he reached the Dragon's Lair, what was that area? You would say
what the Dragon's Lair is Martin. When he meets Martin, the first time in that place, and then the second time having to go back to rescue these 3 people by lighting the torch or whatever, I would argue that the Dragon's Lair is that spot.
Yeah, the well.
That he met Martin in. How would you respond to that?
I just don't. I think it's too early. I think because we go through it, right? And we look at it. Right? So we got the call to adventure. We got the first threshold. So now number 3 would be trials. Trials, friends, and foes. And that is when he encounters obstacles and people try to convince him not to go. I think that was when he set off with Sarah. And then after that magical mentor. So I would think that would be the Martin stage. The magical mentor would be the Martin stage. And then after that,
was Martin a mentor though by the pure sense of the word? Did he provide him with sage advice that helped him to grow as a person into the hero?
I think I'm gonna let Elamar.
Because to me, Martin is a villain.
Right,
Martin is a villain.
I'm gonna let Elamar answer in a second, but I will say that he did give him advice, tell him about the people, tell him about the tip of the spear, that there was worse things in the woods than the things that were chasing him, a lot of worse things. So he did give them a lot of advice. He gave him the bloodworms inside of his body. So we did give him some advice. But let me let Elamar, what do you think about that?
The mentor, wouldn't it be a combination of both Martin, but also his wife? Because she kind of appears to him, and it looks like he does go to her grave to, I guess, get counsel, even though he's the one
Yeah.
talking to her.
Well,
Kind of like,
obviously I can't hear LMR because I'm only on your thing, Tony.
All right. So she said that, she thinks that not just Martin, that most likely his wife could be a part of that mentorship because he goes to a grave to talk to her.
Well, to me, I don't know if I can see Martin as a mentor for I think if you're looking for a mentor, if he's had a mentor, it would probably be either Devon White or it would be somebody. We haven't seen that person yet because yes, Martin was a big deal and had an impact on him, but Martin was not. I would argue Martin was a villain. But then again, the hero's journey can have a mentor that isn't necessarily the nicest guy because in the story of King Arthur, you have Merlin, and there's several. Merlin, who is obviously the mentor, but there's several iterations of that story where Merlin is mentoring Arthur for his own personal gain. But Arthur nonetheless gets the mentorship out of the relationship still, even though Merlin isn't necessarily trying to mentor him to become a better person. He's just using him. So I guess you could be right with that Martin, in terms of a mentor having a big impact on the person becoming a hero or their transition into heroism, then perhaps I guess Martin could fit that criteria.
Martin, Martin is there Martin's the one who told them that the monsters come when the music box stops, right? And all that. He's told them about
Well, yeah.
And you know
what? So and the fact that they're also very early in what supposedly would be a 5 to 6 season show would probably say he should not be as far as number 7 into the hero's journey as yet. He should be at a 5. But then one other thing I'd like to mention is that we see a lot of coinciding heroes' journeys. Like, so for example, I would say like Tabitha, for example, is having her own hero's journey, and she's just going into the lair of the dragon.
We'll go through every character.
Yeah.
We're going to do Boyd tonight, but we'll go through Tabitha and
everybody. Yeah, it's interesting how they like, how they run alongside one another. But funny thing though, for this show, I wonder like why don't these people talk to one another? Because does Boyd know that Tabitha saw a bunch of sleeping monsters in the tunnels? Because unless they've had an off-camera discussion, like, has she ever told Boyd that? Does Boyd have that information? And if not, then that's kind of dumb. One would think that as soon as you got out of that situation, you tell the sheriff that, there's these motherfuckers hiding down there, and like we could probably kill them or some shit if we catch them while they're sleeping. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree that they definitely should have discussed that information. Boyd definitely doesn't know. What do you think about that, Elamar?
Yeah, it's I'm thinking they're not talking to each other because we need to have those seasons. Because if they would have just, had a little meeting, 2 meetings, maybe 3 meetings, they would be out of there already. They would connect all the dots and they will be out if they would actually have proper conversation. But, we need the seasons. We need those episodes. I think it's just a necessity, that struggle, but also maybe a message that people don't communicate well. And if we only, if we just got together and thought about the issues, we might have resolved it. Maybe that's one of those things. And I do agree here with Daryl. He says mentions Father Kadri as a mentor.
I mean, all right. So we could let's look at Father Khatri if he is the mentorship, and that would be step number 5, and that would have happened in episode 1. I mean, season 1.
Actually,
He's
after
talking-
death too.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
does come to
yeah.
him after death. So maybe it is.
It's
Father
like talking with a mentor. You don't just listen. You listen, and then you know give your opinion, and then you listen again, and it's a back
I
and
mean,
forth.
it would work if we. I mean, even if we talked about Jade, we would say the same thing with that would be the guy, the bartender, right?
Right? Yeah.
That's coming to him and mentoring him and giving. But but can we consider that a mentor when he's talking to himself?
Well, you know what? We don't know what's going on. We don't know. We don't know what this is.
Jade looks at the guy. He goes, "You're dead, right?" And he goes, "Okay, we're both on the same page."
I love that. I love that little thing there. That was so like Jade. I think I will take anything I'm seeing as what it is. I'm not just gonna say it's in their head because they are there for a reason, and they're seeing those things for a reason. We are not seeing other people saying or thinking, "Oh, I'm having hallucinations." So I think all of it is for a reason, one or another. And if they're talking, it must be because whoever keeps them there makes those conversations happen.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, to me, when I look at his journey, if I'm gonna go Magic Mentor, I go Martin, and I don't think he's reached the Dragon's Lair yet. I don't think he's reached his moment of despair, the ultimate treasure, homeward bound, rebirth, the rebirth, and the champion's return is the end
Mm.
of it, and I don't think he's reached that yet. I don't think he's because I don't see the ultimate treasure. He didn't get that yet. And I don't see the Dragon's
Yeah.
Lair yet.
So
I
where did he go? When did we leave off the thing with him? So after he shot,
He-
I'm trying to think where he ended in season 2.
Boyd,
Boyd. Mm-hmm.
he ended at he was at the end. He came out of the place with Martin, and then the dogs licked his hands,
That's
and they
right.
ran off, and he
That's
followed
right.
the dogs, and he
Okay,
followed
so
the dogs off.
Mm.
That would be more like if they want to go there, the Magic Mentor, he would be there. If you want to say that the Magic Mentor is the boy in white or whoever's controlling the dogs, could be, or a magical mentor with supernatural, or the mentor. It says Magic Mentor or the mentor with supernatural aid. I mean, if someone's controlling the dogs, that would be some type of supernatural aid. I think he would end it right there. I think 5 is where he would be. Me personally, I think he would be on number 5, and he'd have 5 more steps for the full journey. So if you got 5 in 2 seasons, that would end the season 4. I mean, they could always drag stuff off, but 4 or 5 seasons, you would think it would end, which comes so fast. You think like 5 seasons, 5 years, it's going to take forever. 5 years goes by so fast.
Yep, definitely.
It's just there. It's over. Like this is season 2 already, and I'm thinking like season 5. That's only 3 years away. We knocked out 2 seasons just like that, and 3 more years. It wouldn't be long at all. The show would be over before you know it. It's not that long and stuff. Oh, it's such a shame to get old because you realize these things when you're old. You don't realize this stuff when you're young. Like I said, when I was young and I would be summer before I went back to school, it would seem like a full year went by before I went back to school. That shit is only 2 months.
Yep. Yeah, we have what a month, not even, no, where are we? Month and a half, about a month left here of summer break for the kids. Wow, yeah. It flies by.
It does.
Yeah.
Our good friend Luna says Boyd's at step 6 test allies, enemies. He's seeking trusted allies and identify enemies. That's not step 6. Step 6 is the Dragon's Lair. Allies and enemies
Isn't it
is Trials, Friends, and Foes is step 4.
Okay.
Then the Magical Mentor, step 5. Step 6 is the Dragon's Lair.
Mhm.
From the hero's journey that I'm looking at, maybe you're looking at a different hero's journey, but this is from the writer of Mythological Structures for Writers, who does this one. Maybe you're looking at something else. So that's why I'm saying he's at 5. Maybe yours is a little bit, but I would think that it would be the same journey. Hero's journey is the same way across the board and everything. What up to our girl Carla Way from Down Under? The Thunder from Down Under. Thunder from Down
Hey,
Under.
Carla.
That's those goddamn strippers. You ever see those guys? What do they call Austria Heat? That's something like
I
that.
have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's like Australia Heat. These guys, and they
Hmm.
call the Thunder from Down Under.
Oh,
I re-
catchy name. Catchy name. I'm
I
sure they're
remember-
wonderful.
How I remember why I do is because I know my mother and her friends went to go see these motherfuckers.
Oh, I bet the good memories too.
Thank you, John Haymaker, for the super chat. He says, I think the forest is a Venus flytrap, like creatures that trap living things in it to feed off their the surfacing trauma, dreams, and nightmares. And what up to our girl Mara chasing the building, rocking with us too, and everything else. Let's see. So the forest is a Venus flytrap, saying that it's a snare, and when you go inside there, like the trap would shut on you, but instead of feeding off of physical things, saying that it feeds off of trauma, dreams, nightmares. What do you think? That would make the forest a magical place.
Yeah.
Do you believe the forest is a magical entity?
Well, until I see what it actually is, kind of everything is possible. But that would be, if that was the case, wouldn't the monsters live in like inside the trees and just like get out of the tree trunks at night? And so as in the forest releases those nightmares. I'm saying nightmares as in the monsters, creatures, and they live in caves in the forest, but technically they're not. I don't know. It would be like a living entity, like a being, forest being a thing, just kind of growing and creeping in on that town, getting closer.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I don't know. What what would be the message? Like, why is this forest angry? Is it because it's being cut down somewhere else? But wouldn't that forest be angry versus this one that kind of looks intact?
Yeah, this is what it is. And I think John, thank you for the super chat, and I love your suggestion here. But that ain't no damn magical force. There ain't no magic in this whole thing. And be honest with you, this is the reason why I know because I'm smart and I'm a Don Tony Teflon. That's what it is. But I'm going to say, and we're going to take your second super chat here. Thank you so much. We're going to put that in there. I think it's a force. It's now. Yeah, I know you're trying to get on my good side, and I appreciate it, and that does help. All right, but I'm saying that when you hear Boyd, the actor, say, and he said it directly. So we have a little boy running around the magical forest helping people. When he says that, he's not saying it to justify that that's what's going on. He's saying it to let you know how unbelievable that sounds out loud. Because the forest is not magical, and some little boy, and he's not a little boy running around helping people. That's why he put that out there. You know what I mean? That's what it is. This forest is an illusion. It's all this. It's not there. It's not really a forest at all. It's just made to look like a forest. And in the end, the simulation is going to be brought down, and that's when you're going to realize where you're really at. But it's not that no damn forest. The town's a simulation. I mean, they're giving you clues that the town's a simulation by the fact that the wires don't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
and that there's nothing inside. So if you're building a set, right? You're building a set, like if you're on a movie set, right? And you're
Yeah.
building a set for a television show or something, right? You put things in the background to make it look believable, like in Seinfeld, when they showed Jerry's house, he'd have cereal boxes in his house. But really, when they did the unmasking of the set, it was just a cardboard cutout of cereal boxes that were on the set to make it feel like there were cereal boxes for you to think that it was lived in, but it weren't real cereal boxes, right? It's the same thing going on here with the wires. They have the wires there to make you believe that these things are plugged in, and that's why these lights and everything work. But obviously, they don't work because it's a set. It's nothing more than a set. They're just there for the show. The wire. That's why Jim even said there's not even any wiring in the wires. You know, it's not even
that's still, it's so crazy to me. Like, you know, if it would be just a what do you call it? But there's current, right? There's something in there,
There's
but they don't know
current.
where it's from.
They have current, but it's
Because they
not coming-
connected actual wires. They were able to connect the actual wires
Yes.
that they brought in there, put them where the screwing it on top and the bottom of the
where the bulb would go.
yeah,
So
and
there's power getting to that
it is
part,
so
but
interesting.
it's not through the wires in the wall
Yeah.
that's getting that power. That power is coming from something else,
Mhm.
and it's an illusion to make it look like a lamp. It's not a lamp. It looks like a lamp. The power is coming through it. You know what I mean? It could be easily wireless technology, some type of Tesla, Tesla coils, they say, but we have wireless technology, right?
Mhm.
And Tesla was supposedly building a wireless thing that could shoot all over the place, where everything would be hooked up to a
Yeah,
wire.
you would just have to be somewhere and you could just stand there and get power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who would
Yeah.
sit there and shoot electricity out of his hands and touch it and let you know that it's safe, right? And the cable and the power people like, we can't get paid off of this if he does that.
Yeah, that's why it was stopped. There's no money in free stuff, right?
Yeah, we can't give that shit away.
Yeah.
It's just like the internet. The internet should be free for everyone in the world. It's a necessity.
Mhm.
But they don't give it to you for free. You got to pay for it, but it should be a free thing. It should be included in your taxes. The internet, your internet cost should be included in your taxes that you pay every year. And that's the way it should be. It's free access to high-speed internet. Everyone should have access to things like that. But we're off topic a little bit. But what I'm saying is that it's just an illusion. It's just a game. It's just to make you think that's what it is. It's like, I believe these talismans are to make you think that you're safe. You know what I mean? To make you believe, because it's all this part of the game that they're playing with you.
So there's a set of rules that if you follow them as a resident over there, right? Like technically there is electricity coming out from somewhere. So if you use that, like they did, connecting those wires, by following those rules, you get electricity that you can use, right? But technically it's like I don't want to call it a simulation or just not only just a simulation, but what do you call it? Like a game where you follow the rules and you can have those little hacks and such. That if you follow that or if you do this, then this happens. So that's why the creatures cannot run or the monsters cannot run. They cannot do certain things. They can only what is it called? Like exist within the parameters of what was set, right? Maybe.
I think it's just like, if you have a board game, whether it's Monopoly, everything else, you have rules. Some rules make you go to jail. Some give you a chance or a community chest card. You could buy certain things. And I think, they provide things, but you have to go out there. It's just like if you were playing a video game and you're in Final Fantasy or something like that, or a game like that, certain places you go, you find certain things. You find different swords. You find things. Boyd went to this place and he was able to find a goat and find some animal. How the fuck them goats get there? Them goats,
right?
They don't live in the woods.
They just spawned like.
You know what I mean? They put those there because he went there to get them and stuff. And that's what it is. And it could be like the farther you go, it could be a situation like someone brought this up before, who's in the chat, and they said it. it could be a computer simulation where not everything, you don't see everything in the game until you reach a certain spot because it changes, it spawns,
Hmm.
while you reach that way, while you're looking that way. And they have that in Oculus Quest headset that they show you certain things, but it's not in great detail until you look at it. And that's where they use the tread on where the power goes so that you can get better graphics for you. So when you're looking directly at something, you get the best graphics, and on the sides, it's blurry. And then when you look to that side, the other stuff turns blurry, and that stuff comes into more focus. It could be a situation like that here, and the farther they go up, more stuff comes into focus and stuff.
Somebody made a comment earlier there that trees are aliens or something like that, and that's not an unheard of thing. And was it Doctor Who? One of the episodes for whatever doctor, I think Doctor number 10. Yeah, trees turned out like trees, turn into paper and then in library, and basically the library was haunted apparently with the spirits of the trees, or the living trees were becoming books, and that's when bad stuff started happening. So it's not unheard of that trees could be not magic, but who knows.
Hey, it's true. No. I like
No.
anything you say alien out, you perk me up. But the trees are just an illusion to it. Those are just teleportation devices. That's why Victor thinks they're moving. They're not moving. The trees aren't moving. Everything is moving. It's quite possible that that the thing is on axis, and that's why it's moving. It seems like they're moving, but they're not. It's not the trees that are moving. It's the world itself that is moving. It's kind of like, when in the Matrix, when they're sitting there and the little boy is there and he's bending the spoon, and he says the reason why it's not the spoon that bends, it's everything around it that's actually bending. But it seems like he said, when that's how you mastered it, because you're looking at it thinking that you're bending the spoon, but it's not the spoon that's bending, it's everything around it that's actually bending. And that's just causing the spoon to look like it's bent. And it could be a whole situation like that going on, you know what I mean? And the world itself can be moving, which makes Victor think that the trees are moving. It's not the trees, it's everything else that's moving.
That makes sense too.
When you deal with this whole thing, now all of a sudden and yes, Jackie, see, there is no spoon. Yeah.
There is no. That's funny.
But when you look at what was I gonna say? Jackie C threw me up with a spoon comment, and I had to read it. Now I don't know what I was gonna say. So we'll have to go somewhere else. I lost my train of thought there and everything else. But we are dealing with the hero's journey of Boyd, and we have coming through. Let's take the phone call.
Call from
John Henderson.
to accept, press 1. To send
What's going on, John? You're down with the Don, Tony Teflon, Lady Elamar.
What's up? So, yes, I was rewatching the season, and I just came just a theory that I think the Force is an alien, because like it's a big thing about like how can we recognize alien life if we see it, and the things that aliens can do, we won't be able to comprehend. They'll look magical to us. So I'll just pay attention to how the creatures come out at night. They kind of act like ants or wasps. They go out, they collect who they can kill, and they bring the organs somewhere. So I feel like they take it down into the ground with them, and probably feed the creature, like the Forest, the organs of the people that they caught.
So you believe that the monsters are harvesting, the reason why the monsters are going for people is to harvest the organs of the people and then bring them back to feed the Forest, or the main people in this game?
The Forest.
The Forest. So you think they're burying the organs into the ground?
Or something like that, or maybe they are the structures that Jade. I think he will find more things inside the tunnels. I think that like the structures they probably like putting them on look like an altar, like some type of by like a satanic ritual to Jade, but it's actually like how the forest is feeding. So like it does that on purpose. So when people see it, they only comprehend it as something that they might have heard about or seen before. Like everybody know what satanic ritual or something look like, but like if we was to see, like I think it's like the whole thing. It just been so many illusions. Like so many things are there, not there. So like I just was just thinking about entities like we bring up it a lot. You know, it was like a multi-dimensional creature, and it fed off of people's fears. People had to be scared before it died because it said like people's fear make people taste better.
Yeah, well, all right. So yeah, so I bring up, I brought up it, and a lot of so we don't bring it. A lot of people don't bring it up. We bring it up, and people made fun of me for that in the comment section for that whole it comparison. But I think the Paris comparison
But
is right
the
on.
more we think about it, the more it matches.
I think it's right on. Yes, and it was a alien creature that fed on fear. Uh, and that's why he did everything he did because it made the children taste better. Whatever he was trying to eat made it taste better for it. And he was a shape-shifting creature, which I think the boy in white is too. I do believe fear has a play in this. Though I do believe they're trying to scare the people because I think that's why in the beginning the monsters were screaming at first because it scared them. And then when they got the talismans, they stopped screaming because they weren't afraid anymore. And once they weren't afraid of the screams anymore, they stopped screaming. So I do believe that without a doubt, fear does have something to play in this whole experiment that they're doing. Whether it's experiment with fear to see exactly how people react or the adrenaline level, but I do believe that fear definitely has something to do with it.
Yeah, and like so there's a thing with it about it being a multi-dimensional creature. Like there's rules that they got to go by because in the book, remember they defeated the creature by the ritual of Chud or Chode or something like that.
Mhm.
So I think like the talismans are something like that creature has to have if for creatures can like for people can survive. There's rules they got to go by. So like when the monsters see the talismans when boy first get them. They're coming in and they look at him and then they're like, oh shit, he don't find the magical items and shit. We got to mind our business now. But the creature's gonna get mad. The creature got to go by these rules.
Yeah, I agree. A situation like could definitely be a situation going on like that. With the magical creatures, and you look at other movies and things like that. People they have rules between they get in. Even in Freddy and Nightmare on Elm Street, there was rules when you were in the dream world. They were even in his world, there was rules that had to be followed while he was there. And that's how they were able to get him. And eventually they dragged his ass out of the dream world and kill him and stuff like that. But there's always some type of rules you have to find and everything else. And I do believe that the charms there or the talismans have some. It's just a rule. It's just a game. We have these up here. Then that's just what it is, and everything else.
And so I was just so I rewatched season 1, most of season 2, and I was just focusing on like, some there's theories that all the entities might be one person, but I think it's like anything or anybody probably can wander into it as long as they meet some type of criteria. Like if they can communicate with other creatures or if they have some type of reasoning skills or something like that. I think it's like a battle royale going on at sometimes for some of these creatures to get out of there. I think everybody and everything in there want to get out, and sometimes they work together and sometimes they don't.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, bro. And
All right.
I'll talk to you. I got to talk to Lamar about it. It's hard for her to talk when you're on the phone, so I'll ask her the questions that you just asked me.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day.
You too. All right. So, El, what do you think about that phone call and everything about the creatures in the forest and all that stuff?
With that, what stuck with me is like, yeah, they ripped them apart, but where are all the guts? Like, where is the heart? Like, they should be walking, tripping over, liver and a heart, and there's, the intestines. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff. It could be somewhere, but they just have this open area with a hole in there. Normally,
Mhm.
that's what I remember seeing. You can see their ribs kind of like cracked and open, but where are the lungs? Like, where's all that stuff? I didn't, peek in there or stop it. But yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Where are all the organs?
Yeah, and
Um,
it's also the fact that when we seen the creature ripped open, that everything was mummified
yeah,
in their bodies, right? So,
yeah.
which is a weird situation, which would explain why they don't bleed or anything else like that, because they have no blood pumping through them. So
Mm-hmm.
again, we look at these creatures and stuff, we see that these creatures are reanimated
Mm-hmm.
at some point. They're not alive.
Yeah.
Because unless it's a different type of living that we know from everything we
Yeah.
know, that you need to be
The
alive.
way we describe life, right? If
Yeah.
something is alive, there are like what, 3 rules. You have to have like an outer something to protect you. I don't know. I'm just recalling it from like years ago. You have to get nutrients and you have to reproduce, kind of thing. Like, I think that's the, again, I may be really off with this one, but that's kind of what I'm recalling, that there are different things to call something a living thing.
Yeah, it seems
And
like
yeah,
they're reanimated,
animated,
like
yeah,
they
reanimated.
are maybe an avatar for
Mm.
people who are actually controlling them.
Huh.
A situation like that, like they're just the puppets and people are moving
They have
them
to
around.
recharge at
Yeah, and they have to
during the day.
recharge their batteries at nighttime when the sun
Right.
comes up. They got to recharge them and stuff because there's no
Yeah.
blood running through their bodies.
Mhm.
Without blood, there's no life. That from what everything we know, every creature we know, except for like plants, don't have blood. They have veins though, and they
Yeah,
have
different
stuff.
things flow.
They have
Yeah, stuff
chloroform
flows over
going
there.
through them
Yeah.
and everything. But everything has some type of thing like that running through its body. If it's going to be a fleshy creature, it has to have some type of blood in it, and it's for it to work. And this thing does not have any blood in it at
Mhm.
all. They're running through it, So
Yeah.
I think even zombies have blood in them. When you kill a zombie, the guts and the blood comes out of the zombies. In fact, you can,
Yeah. Become.
you could
Yeah.
spread the zombie blood on you,
Yeah.
and they leave you alone, right? So even
Yeah.
the zombies have blood in them. These creatures
Yeah.
have no blood. It's mummified. It's exactly what she said, the nurse, when she came on the show. She said it was a mummified. They were mummified remains inside of them, petrified, mummified
Mm.
remains. So they have not a drop of blood or anything fluid going through them and everything else. John Henderson, thank you for the super chat. He says the night creatures are like, what does that say? Humiculin?
Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Humancali? I'm not even gonna attempt pronounce it.
Let me
Well,
attempt it and sound fine.
I have never heard seen that word, so it's difficult even to pronounce words that I know. So that one I don't know what that is. But a funny comment from Ryan. Welcome to From. No electric bills. Hell, you don't you don't need blood.
You don't need blood. You don't need anything to come here. You just go to the county house. You don't need condoms. You ain't got to worry about getting no one pregnant. There ain't no diseases here. There's no nothing. This is the 70s relived again, and that's what it is and stuff, So, yeah, I just think that when you deal with these creatures and deal with everything with them, it all means something in the end. It's just like the name
Yeah.
From means something in the end. And my next video, I'm going to break down a couple of things and stuff. And I'm still doing From content. Like I said, we're still here. Even in the off season, we'll be here. You know what I mean? Representing, as long as we get the support and people are here saying they still like the job that we're doing and still have interest, we'll come here and we'll talk the show. No doubt about it. I'll still drop and everything else. I'll still drop videos on it and everything and show love to the show as long as y'all are ready for it and everything else. it's funny because when we look at the picture, especially the girl behind me, if you look at her legs really close, you can see like there's varicose veins all up in her legs and in her face.
Mm.
But how do you have veins like that without blood running through it?
Huh. Well, at first I thought that she's very, very dirty, like she was crawling. But then I'm looking, and you can see, like like you said, different veins and stuff like that. Ah, yeah, that is strange. And again, I don't know why, if they don't do, if that's not for, like, as for a reason, like there's no purpose to it. I don't like that. Like, I mean, I would prefer for them to actually put different things, like either dress them up a certain way from certain what is it, decades, or do that to their bodies because there's a reason for it, not just because it looks cool. I mean, I like for things to make sense even in a sci-fi, horror, fantasy. Well, this is not fantasy, but any genre. I want it to make sense
Yeah, I hear. So
within the parameters of whatever the rules are of that show.
of course. Death Shadow Shinobi says, "Isn't aliens the easiest low-hanging fruit to explain the show? Why wouldn't magical?
Magic, I think, would be the
Why
easiest,
wouldn't
I think.
magical be lower than aliens? You bring magic in there, you can just say, "Oh, it's magic. That's why they're able to do it. Oh, it's magic. That's why they did it." You know what I mean? What are you talking about? How could magic not be lowest? And in the end, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna explain things to you when you watch these shows, and I'm gonna tell you from experience of me doing this on YouTube for a very long time and getting a lot of shit right on YouTube a lot of times. Usually, the easiest things is what it is. When you really get elaborate and go into all these details and this, it's this, and this, it's that, and this is that, it usually isn't it. I'm telling you. I just give you a guide. His name is Preston Jacobs. Came up with phenomenal theories for Game of Thrones. Even another guy, LMR, Lucifer means LML. Sorry, LMR. Lucifer means library. David Library came up with the most elaborate theories for this book series you ever heard. They both met George R. R. Martin. They both explained their theories to George R. R. Martin, and George R. R. Martin said, "Excuse me, huh? Okay." Like, that wasn't it. It wasn't. It was none of that stuff. All those elaborate things that he did, that they came up with, he wasn't thinking nothing like that at all. He was just writing the book. He didn't put any of that stuff in there like that. All that stuff is just what people just come up with to because that you have more time to think of it than the person who's actually doing it. You know what I mean? And that's when you have all that time, that's when you come up. So when you hear the most elaborate theory, even it usually isn't that. Even with Dexter New Blood, I came up with such a way for this guy to get killed and everything else. And what was it? His son shoots him.
Oh my gosh, Tony. That was so. And the way he did it, I'm still, when you bring that stuff up, I'm still processing it.
All the stuff they had it set up to do it. I can't. Well, this is gonna be this. Nope, it was just bang. Done deal. Over. And that's it. And it's over. Simplest thing you ever seen in your life, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. When you see a lot of things, I don't like. I say the phrase, but I don't mean it to anyone. I say when you hear the phrase, keep it simple, stupid. Know that's what a lot of these people do, because again, they're trying to explain these things to a massive audience. So maybe 2 or 3 people could do that whole elaborate thing and follow along. But when you're trying to get 70-year-olds and all these people involved, the simpler it is for them to follow, the easier it is for them to follow. And that's usually what happens in everything else. You know what I mean? So saying that, this is magical stuff and this is, and all that, not telling you that it's not, even though it's not. It's easy to follow if you want to say that. Saying that it's aliens and some type of simulation, it's easy to follow. if it's a whole computer program and they're just testing these people, it's easy to follow. It's going to be something like that. It's not going to be a whole elaborate things where people from this is doing this and all these other things. It's not going to be that. You know what I mean? It's just going to be something simple. You know what I mean? I do believe it's a multi-dimensional situation. I do believe that they're pulling stuff in, and that's it. You know what I mean? So you'll see when it's all said and done, and then you'll have the chance to say you hate it because it's said and done. But in the end, it's just it's seen it. We've seen it, before, but you've seen everything before. There's nothing that you can really do that you haven't seen. You know what I mean?
Just dress it up differently. That's the thing. And I don't mind if people repeat stuff. I mean, they would have to like. There are some crazy things out there that crazy movies that completely at the end they don't make sense to me. And it was like, hey, that was it. That's your original ending. I would have preferred the ending to be less original but more entertaining. Just dress it up differently.
Let's
So they're
let's
just repeating.
Death Shadow Shinobi says aliens harvesting organs.
Hmm.
Question mark. Could be. We have no idea if anyone's harvesting organs. That's a theory. We don't know if that's the case. No one has come up and seen that for definitively know if that's the case. So if aliens would they harvest organs? Yeah, they could.
But
Why wouldn't they? Human
yeah.
beings do it, right? So if humans would
Yeah.
do it, why wouldn't aliens do it? You don't know what's going. It could be you could easily make a scenario. I can make it up in my head right now.
Mhm.
Oh, the alien planet's going to die unless they have a certain amount of organs to harvest. They feed on these organs, or they need these organs for something else, and everyone on that planet got infected with some type of disease, and they have to come to a new planet to get these
Yeah.
organs to put them in their own people. You can make up so many different things. If you look at the man who fell from Earth and everything else, and look at that, what's that? That's an alien story. Like a man who fell to Earth, but it's done differently, right? And that's what it is. So you can always look at different things. Let me take a super chat here from John. Thank you so much. He said I had $20 to contribute for FromCon this week. Say, oh, thank you. And all super chats and all money will be going to FromCon. End of the month, we will have the website up. It won't be called FromCon anymore. You know what I mean? So it will be just under a different name, but it's the same thing. It will be the same thing and everything else. So Death Shadow Shinobi. Why do aliens want human organs? We could be a genetic, or we could not be too. All right. So again, anything that you're saying here, you're not saying it with, and I'm being respectful to you here, because I'm trying, but anything you say could be taken the other way. You're not saying anything definitive. You're saying one side of a coin. Why do aliens want human organs? We could be genetically different. That's just like saying, why do human beings want alien rocks? Or why do human beings want to go here? Sometimes it's curiosity. Why, the predator, when he came into there, they liked to hunt, right? It was just for the thrill of killing people and the thrill of it. They didn't need it. They did it for there's so many ways you could take it. And you have no idea if they are genetically different. As you said, we could be. Superman has the same genetics as human beings. He's an alien. He has the exact same genetics as human beings. Sinestro, you can go through 1 billion different people from outer space that they've shown in these comic books that look just like humans and have the same genetic makeup. So it can be taken both ways. If you're going to come with a point that's going to dissuade it, you have to come with something of substance. Not something that can just be turned around the other way, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Appreciate the comment and everything else. There's no doubt about it, but that's just the way it goes. And all of that. Who is this? Teflon is freestyling plot points like Harry Mack. You know what that means for you? RDGB. You know what that means for you right now. You go to the box.
There should be some kind of music with that at the end, or the fear of silence.
It should be. I should do something like that. I should do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, it says the box is almost worth the montage.
You go to the box.
Yeah. Mm.
And all that. You go to the box. You go to the box, and that's it. But the box is fun. Don't want to have fun down there.
Yep.
Have fun up in there and everything else. And, I could get a whole production of the box. I could do a whole thing with it, but someone offered to do it for me and everything else. But I'm not. And I put you in the box. I do it out of love. I'm just playing with you. Don't think I'm not banning you permanently. I'm just doing it out of love. So don't take offense to it. It's a privilege to get put in the box. It's a privilege.
It's like enough people there, they can have their own party.
You could. All right. Death
Yeah.
Shadow Shinobi wants to know: do you think we'll get new characters in season 3?
Will there be an airplane falling down? We had a bus. There are train tracks, right? Are there train tracks? Could it be? Was there a train track? No. What was it? Didn't they, like, when they Matthew's family were going through that where the there's either, like, there was a forest on one side. Was it there like a river or train tracks over there? Or am I just
There's a train track. So
I wonder if, like, derailed train or airplane falling.
yeah,
Ah,
there were train tracks going on.
new
There.
people. I mean, another bus, that would be weird.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get new characters. We didn't get rid of new
Yeah.
ones, so I think the cast is maybe new monsters or something like
Hmm.
that, or a new top person. You have people
Yeah.
that Tabitha are interacting with that'll be new.
Mm.
So you have that, and probably could have a good chance of seeing Victor's sister as she survived as an older woman.
Yeah.
She would be there, something like that. But as for a new cast of characters, I don't think we have that. We had to deal with these ones. Flaming Hot Chip 420. Wasn't there going to be a FromCobb website weeks ago? So I've explained this numerous times already, but maybe you didn't hear it. So again, I'll explain it to you again. So there is the FromCon website's already made. I made the FromCon website. I did that already. I have the domain name. I have the website. I was then contacted by the good people of Amazon and MGM, the lawyers from them. And after the conversation I had with the lawyers of the company, I'm not going to go into details about it, but they, in order to preserve my relationship with them, I decided to rename the com from FromCon. Let me just put it like that. It's the easiest way I could say it. I have to in the end? No, I did not have to do that. I could have left it the same name and just done it. But again, I do have a good relationship with them, and I would like to continue having a good relationship with them. So I decided to change the name from FromCon to something else. So that is the reason why. So I still have that website. I have that domain name. So I have to get a new domain name, and I have to rebuild the whole new website. So that's why it's taking so long, or it already would have been up. So I'm still doing it and everything else, but I just have to do all that stuff over. So all that FromCon money was just kaput. That money I had to spend on that website is just gone. That's gone money and everything else. So we'll leave that there, and then we'll just we'll do the new name, and we'll still continue on, and we'll have our con next year in Nashville. So this won't be under the name FromCon. That's all. But and so again, and we'll have other actors too. I actually have a female actor from Stranger Things who's agreed to come too. So it kind of is a blessing that it won't just be a FromCon. We'll be able to cover all the shows that we cover on this channel instead of just From, but we will focus some things on From. But we'll have other people there too. You know what I mean?
That is really exciting, actually, when you mentioned that it's not just gonna be about From. it's gonna have more and different shows. That actually was extra exciting when I heard that, because it's great but also to have somebody else, and we do love other shows too. So that's great.
Yes,
Great
of course,
news.
and
Mhm.
everything. So that is what's going on with that and everything else. And again, everything would be is legitimate. I would never like even when you buy your tickets and everything, the money's not coming to me. It's going to a service. You'll see the service. I've got the name of the service, but you'll see the service that takes the tickets and does all that. It's like a ticket master type service that's going to be doing all that. And again, once I get that, then I will be able to I'll be able to gauge exactly how many people will be there or going, and then I can gauge which size of a room that we're going to have to rent out and stuff. So when it does go up, it's if you can. I mean, I know it would have been more people there if I would have been able to get this done during the season, but that's what's going to really determine uh, the people that I could actually bring on the show, how many people I could bring on there, and what size of room and everything else and all that good stuff. But we're gonna have it, even if it's just 10 people show up, we're gonna do it. I promise you that. We're gonna do even
I
if it's
bet
just
it's gonna
10
be
people.
more, Tony.
But
Because
even
yeah,
so,
yeah,
and it's gonna cost me
yeah.
$10,000 to rent this stuff and get everyone there, and 10 people show up, we'll still do it because I promised you guys I would do it. So I'll do it. And that's just the way it is. And that's just who I am. So we'll definitely get that done. And we'll have a great time, man. I promise you that. It's gonna be a great
And
time.
a good time is guaranteed. That
Guaranteed.
is, yeah,
Guaranteed. The
yeah.
money back guarantee. Now, well, listen.
No.
It all depends what a good time and you is.
Yeah.
You come down there with intentions in your head, and those intentions ain't fulfilled. Like like if you come down there as a single man, and you're like, I'm coming down here and I'm gonna bag somebody up, and you don't bag nobody. That's on you, bro. You know what I mean? If you ain't have a good
Oh.
time, I ain't bag nobody. That's on you. I can't promise you that. I can't help you there.
So fun within limits of what fun can be, and then other stuff is on whoever is there.
So,
Responsible for their own fun too.
yeah, it's because you should cover the boy. The thing is this: yeah, MGM definitely did that. There's no doubt about it. I think that to cover the boys and to cover these other shows, the market is so saturated. Again, I'm not a big channel. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge channel. I have a certain amount of subscribers. It's not a little bit. I have more than a lot of people, so I would never, take that for granted. And so, I'm not saying that I'm the tiniest, but in the land of YouTube, I'm a small channel when you compare me to other channels that could cover these shows. And the way YouTube works is that they give priority to these other channels with more subscribers. Really, you got to hit that 100,000 mark in order to start building up. That's why you get that plaque when you hit 100,000, because that's the number to hit. When you hit that, you know what I mean? That's what it would be. Emily, you missed my super chat. I did not. Did I not? I haven't read it yet. Unless you just sent it. Let's see. You did just send one. All right, I did miss it. Let's go to it right here. Emily, thank you so much. First the floods. Now my husband has pancreatitis. Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thanks to both of you for bringing me some light to that darkness lately. Emily, we all give you a big hug.
Virtual hugs. Mhm.
Virtual hug. Everybody give Emily, part of our family, a virtual hug. We
And
truly,
definitely being part of just hanging out like this with our friends here, a lot of it's a lot. I definitely enjoy this, and I know there in the past where we had different shows, people were mentioning that just hanging out with us once or twice a week, it meant a lot to them. It was a bit of a break from other life. So
yeah.
yeah, I
Hopefully,
know how that feels.
hopefully they
Yeah.
could drain the fluid off of his heart. He comes back better and ever. He has you. He has the kids. That's really all you need in life is support. And he has his friends. We're here to support you in any way we can. If you need anything from us, obviously you can contact me privately. Whatever you need, even if it's like a fundraiser, razor drive or something like that, we could definitely do a stream specifically just for that and help you out if we can in any way we can. We're here for you. So best wishes and you and your husband and everything else. And if we could just in some way, help you get through your day a little bit easier, it's a blessing that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
And all of that, and we have discussed the hero's journey to boy. We've been here for an hour and a half, so it's over 10 o'clock. Elmar has to work in the morning.
Yes, I do. And the dog over there is being loud again, like as if he knows we've been already past an hour.
Yeah, he knows. And before we go, we got a Cash App from Fernandez. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. No message on it and everything else. Thank you for anyone who sends anything to the Cash App, anyone who super chats. We truly appreciate it again. And, we don't make a lot of money on this YouTube thing. If I did, I wouldn't have to work. You know what I mean? But we don't make a lot of money. The super chats and the Cash App is what actually keeps the lights on this building and getting everything going and stuff. And and we're gonna keep it moving, man. So we're here for you all and everything else. And thank you all for rocking with us. We truly appreciate it. Yeah, Elamar's gonna go. Her dog's gonna.
That's my cats. They want him out too.
Cat's gonna.
Yeah,
Catherine, you better get this dog out of here.
Nova. She's rambunctious right now.
All right. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the ground, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.
And stay sexy.